Before we begin, as you settle into the quiet of your room, I want you to take a moment to truly arrive. You have spent the entire day moving, thinking, anticipating, doing. But right now, in this exact moment, all of that is finished. Notice the actual space around you. Feel the exact temperature of the air as it touches your face. Listen for the faint, familiar sounds of your home. Perhaps the distant, quiet hum of a refrigerator, the settling of the floorboards, or the gentle rustle of the wind outside your window. Feel the heavy, comforting weight of your blanket resting across your body. Notice the cool, welcoming fabric of your pillow against your cheek. You are safe here. Let your awareness drift down to the very soles of your feet. Feel a warm, heavy sensation beginning to pool in your toes. Allow this heavy warmth to wash over the arches of your feet, sinking into your heels and wrapping completely around your ankles. Let it travel slowly up your legs, feeling your calves release their grip, your knees softening, your thighs melting downward, becoming completely, delightfully heavy. Let this wave of deep relaxation flow into your hips, untangling the knots of the day. Feel it climb your spine, vertebra by vertebra, smoothing out the tension in your lower back, your mid-back, and all the way up to the space between your shoulder blades. Your shoulders, which have carried so much invisible weight today, can finally drop. Let them sink fully into the mattress. Feel the heaviness spill down your arms, through your elbows, your wrists, all the way to your fingertips. And finally, let this profound softness wash over your neck and your face. Unclench your jaw. Let your tongue fall away from the roof of your mouth. Soften the tiny muscles around your eyes. and let your forehead become perfectly smooth. For the next little while, there is absolutely nothing required of you. Let's ask a quiet question. How often do we truly step back and look at the sheer volume of what we carry in our minds? How often do we allow ourselves to put down the blueprints of tomorrow and just rest in the architecture of right now? Tonight, I want to tell you a story about a man named Elias. Elias knew the particular kind of tired that comes not from physical labor, but from thinking. He was a man who spent his days planning, solving, and anticipating. And on this specific, quiet autumn night, his mind was racing. He was lying in bed, staring at the ceiling, rehearsing conversations he hadn't even had yet. Sound familiar? Unable to sleep, Elias wrapped himself in a thick wool coat and stepped out into the cool, misty air of his city. The streets were completely empty. The street lamps cast a soft, golden halo on the damp cobblestones. He walked without a destination, his hands deep in his pockets. His breath formed small white clouds in the chill of the night. The only sound was the rhythmic tapping of his own footsteps, echoing gently against the brick buildings. He crossed a small stone bridge over a quiet river. The water below was perfectly still, reflecting the silver light of a massive full moon. Elias paused to watch a single autumn leaf land on the surface of the water, sending out slow, perfect ripples that eventually faded into complete calmness. As he wandered further down a narrow, forgotten alleyway, he found himself standing before a magnificent, ancient oak door. It was tucked away between two modern buildings, looking as though it had been there for 1,000 years. Above the door, faintly carved in the stone, were the words, "The Grand Archive." Elias reached out and pushed the heavy brass handle. The door glided open in absolute, perfect silence. He stepped over the threshold, and the cold air of the city instantly gave way to a profound, dry warmth. He had entered a library of impossible scale. The ceiling arch so high it faded into shadow, painted with constellations that seemed to actually shimmer and drift. Endless rows of towering mahogany bookshelves stretched out into the distance, filled with millions of bound books, scrolls, and glowing papers. The air smelled of beeswax, old paper, and deep comfort. The kind of smell that instantly tells your nervous system it is safe to let your guard down. Sitting at a massive wooden table in the center of the room was an old man with kind, weathered eyes. He wore a simple, soft gray sweater, and he was carefully smoothing out a piece of crumpled parchment. This was Silas, the archivist. "Hello, Elias," Silas said, his voice as low and soothing as a distant cello. "I was wondering when you might bring all of this to me." Silas gestured to the table. Scattered across the smooth wood was a chaotic pile of glowing, vibrating papers. Elias recognized them instantly. These were his thoughts. The mental clutter of his waking life. Silas reached out with slow, deliberate grace and picked up a piece of bright, frantic red paper. "This," Silas murmured, "is an email you drafted in your head 3 times today, but never sent." Silas smiled gently. He folded the red paper once, twice. The frantic glow faded completely. He opened a heavy drawer, placed it inside, and turned a small brass key. Click. It was locked away for tomorrow. Elias felt a sudden, physical release in his jaw. Next, Silas picked up a pale blue note. The old man sighed. This is a conversation from 3 days ago. The one you keep trying to win in the shower. The words you wish you had said. Silas held the blue note up to the light of a candle. The past is already written, my friend. You do not need to edit it anymore. He held the paper over the flame. Instead of burning, it dissolved into a shower of silver dust, floating away into the shadows. Elias felt his shoulders drop a full inch. Silas then picked up a thick piece of yellow parchment. It was vibrating with a nervous, humming energy. And this, Silas said softly, is the math of a future that hasn't even happened yet. The financial projections, the worst-case scenarios, the endless what-ifs. Silas opened a massive, heavy leather ledger. He placed the yellow parchment flat against the thick pages and slowly closed the cover with a deep, resonant thud. The future has no power here in the present, Silas whispered. Finally, Silas picked up a tangled knot of gray string. It looked heavy and complicated. This is the most common item people bring to me, Silas explained. This is the persistent feeling that you simply didn't do enough today. The guilt of resting. With incredible patience, Silas pulled at the edges of the tangled knot. Slowly, gently, the knot began to loosen. He pulled it until it became a single, straight thread of gray silk. He blew a cool breath across it, and the thread vanished into thin air. You did exactly enough today, Silas said. Your only job now is to breathe. As Silas continued to clear the table, folding away deadlines, erasing phantom worries, and locking away future fears, He looked up at Elias. "You know," Silas said, pointing out toward the infinite rows of bookshelves. "You are not the only one carrying these things. In this very moment, millions of minds across the globe are doing the exact same thing." Elias looked out into the vastness of the library. "Right now?" Silas continued. "Someone in Tokyo is staring at the ceiling, worrying about a morning presentation. Someone in a quiet farmhouse in Scotland is replaying a conversation with their daughter. A night shift nurse in London is finally sitting down, trying to quiet a racing mind. A baker in Paris is kneading dough, worrying about the rent. A father in Argentina is rocking a baby to sleep, wondering if he is doing a good job. Such an abundance of souls," Silas whispered, "all sharing this same beautiful, messy human journey. Billions of hearts beating, lungs breathing, minds musing." Elias felt a profound sense of relief wash over him. His anxieties were not unique monuments of failure. They were just ordinary dust. A shared, collective experience of simply being alive. The table was now completely empty. Smooth, bare, and perfectly quiet. Silas picked up a small brass lantern. "It is time to close the archive for the night," he said softly. Elias settled into a massive, plush velvet wing chair in the corner of the room. It swallowed him in warmth and profound comfort. He watched as Silas walked slowly down the long aisles. With a gentle breath, Silas blew out the candles on the first shelf. The left side of the library faded into a soft, comforting darkness. He walked further. Another row went dark. The shadows deepened. wrapping the room in a heavy, sleepy blanket. Silas moved down the next aisle, extinguishing the flickering lights one by one. Each time a light went out, Elias felt his mind become a little quieter, a little heavier. Finally, Silas reached the far end of the room. He turned, smiled at Elias in the distance, and blew out the lantern. The library was bathed only in the dim, silver light of the painted stars above. Elias closed his eyes, and just like Elias, I want you to close yours. There is nothing left on the table. There is nothing left to solve. Bring your attention entirely to the gentle rise and fall of your chest. Breathing in the quiet of this vast space. Breathing out the last remnants of the day. Each inhale, a gathering of peace. Each exhale, a deeper surrender. Let your breath become a slow, rolling tide. Drifting in and drifting out. Your mind is clear. Your body is heavy. Wrapped in the absolute safety of the present moment. Down, deeper down, drifting, sinking, resting, quiet, still, asleep.